Yo, what's up guys, Wang here, and we're going to be taking a deep dive in today's patch 1.07 for Valorant. This may have been one of the largest effects on our meta to date, so let's get right into it. To start, Sage had some huge changes. First is her heal. The heal was reduced from 100 HP over 5 seconds down to 60 over 5 seconds. And her self-heal has reduced now from 100 health over 5 seconds to 60 over 10 seconds. Her slow orb size was also reduced by 30%, so it won't be as potent as it has been anymore. On top of this, her barriers now only cost $300 as opposed to the $400 they used to cost, and they will form at 400 HP once they're put up. After a 3-second delay, the wall will then become fortified to 800 HP, which gives your team an incentive to bust it down as soon as you see them. Killjoy also had some much needed changes to her nanoswarm ability, reducing the DPS by 1/3 from 60 damage per second down to 40 damage per second. It will also have a bit of a wind up before it starts doing damage, which will allow you to clue in and run before it starts melting your entire team. On top of this, some visual effects have also been added to make it easier to spot the grenade on the ground, as well as the stealth audio range being increased to make it more detectable. Another change to one of her abilities is that her turret will no longer be revealed by Sova's recon bolt, so you'll never mistake it for a person in a corner again. Viper got some much needed buffs to make her a little more viable with this patch. Her toxic screen can now be placed during the buy phase of rounds through spawn barriers. Toxic screen now goes up faster along its full length once it starts to form. Her decay does not affect allies anymore for all smoke abilities, which is absolutely huge, and her ultimate, Viper's Pit, is now reflected on the minimap for her team so they can better visualize the affected area. Breach also received some buffs to increase his playability, starting with off-screen flashes now match the behavior of other flashes in the game and apply a minimum amount of flash more aggressively. The amount of charges for this ability has been increased by 2 to 3, and there's a reduced wind-up time from 0.6 seconds down to 0.5 seconds, so your flashes will go off a lot faster. Rolling Thunder also got a slight buff. The detonation delay between blasts was decreased from 0.3 down to 0.255. His Concussion Blast also now de-scopes players and prevents them from re-scoping in, which is an interesting mechanic to be aware of, so definitely make sure you take advantage of that. Sova has arguably the most important updates here, starting with the physics of his cape being updated so that it won't wiggle out of his hitbox as much as it has, and he also now has nicer hands, so definitely get your hands on Sova and look at his new hands. The big weapon updates for this patch are mainly focused on shotguns. All shotguns received an aim punch update, so you'll receive less aim punch when being headshot by a shotgun now. The tagging mechanic has also been tuned to slow players down much less past 10 meters, so if you're spraying at an opponent that is quite far away, they shouldn't receive a huge slow to their movement speed like they had before, because it's a shotgun and you shouldn't be slowing down from like 60 meters away. All of the shotguns receive nerfs as well, so starting with the Shorty, the first fall-off threshold range was reduced from 9 meters to 7 meters, which is actually quite a large nerf. The headshot multiplier was also reduced from 3 times to 2 times, so you definitely will do significantly less damage to the head with the Shorty. The judge's price has increased from $1,500 to $1,600, which won't stop me from buying it. I guess the devs wanted to make the choice a little bit harder to make when you have to spend that extra $100 on it. To my surprise, the Vandal also received a slight buff too, increasing the firing rate from 9.25 to 9.75, which is actually quite welcome, as well as a slight increase in the damage from 39 to 40 to help it compete a little closer with the Phantom. The only other really important update was the ability to remake a competitive match. So if your team starts with a 4v5, players now have the option to remake the game if they type /remake in the chat, much like the forfeit option. If all 4 teammates vote for the remake, everyone will be pushed back into a queue and the leaver will receive a penalty equivalent for having left the entire game. This has been an action-packed patch with some really great tuning and changes. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel for more content like this in the future. Stay safe, keep grinding, and as always, Wang out.
Target down.